Hello, everybody out there, and this is Brin for Nerd to Know Media. This is Nerd to Know Basis on Phoenix 92.5 FM, and this is a very, very merry Christmas to all of you out there. And I am joined for this very festive edition by
Happy Holidays! It's Cian
and Darth Vader.
He's behind me.
Oh god. And we've also got Kev is also getting in the mood.
Yeah, we're hatting it up over here.
Yeah. Okay, so how are we all, guys?
Merry.
I didn't know hats were going to be involved. Can I get my reindeer antlers?
I put my hat in the group chat. I was like, I'm bringing a hat and I'm bringing gin. Come on, guys.
This was obviously.
Excuse me, do you expect me to read messages you send me? That is really your fault.
Is this the group chat that I'm not in?
You cut me real deep, man. Brin, you're only not in it because you're not on Facebook, and I had to leave the WhatsApp group because of meme overload.
That's absolutely fine.
So, how are we all doing, Christmassy wise?
Doing well. It's going to be a very busy, very exciting time for me. Because my parents are going to finally see their grandchild for the first time, which is great. Yeah, it's a bit overdue because he's like now he's going to be like 3 months old.
Because he's a COVID baby, isn't he? He is a lockdown baby.
Yeah, and they live in Cork, so restrictions and all that just kind of put a dampener on them being able to see
I completely understand. Like but that's just it. Like Stevie hasn't seen her grandparents and her family in like basically since March. Because, lockdowns can rise and go, but you can't really kind of take the risk and all that, Festive as it all sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a very mask-filled Christmas, I feel. So
with the windows open.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the baby mask.
Yeah. Well, no, it's fine. It's just a baby mask. It's not like we're going to sit down and watch Son of the Mask, which would be just, objectively worse.
See, now you sound like a Grinch.
Have you seen Son of the Mask? Don't.
I have. I've seen Son of the Mask before I saw the mask.
Oh,
thank God there's a halfway decent Loki in it.
That's a very.
What's his name? The guy who plays Nightcrawler.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name. But that's
Alan Cumming. He's a decent Loki in a terrible film.
The fact that I am delusional with exhaustion, but I think we should watch Son of the Mask. I think that'd be a riot.
Yes. Guys, if you're just tuning in on the radio, you might want to just turn it down for about what's the runtime of Son of the Mask?
Hands off the wheel and just let it ride.
Yeah. Well, look, if we're going to do this, if we're going to watch a terrible film,
hello, my baby, hello, my honey.
Yeah. If we're going to watch a terrible film at Christmas, I recommend Santa's Sleigh, because at least that's a killer Santa in a bad film. So, always worth doing that instead.
My go-to Christmas movie, and it's always the first one we watch of the Christmas season, because it's not like overly Christmassy, but it does take part at Christmas time, is Just Friends.
Oh yeah,
so good. So Ryan Reynolds, like peak Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like just watching Friends, like over and over.
Well, I do that too, like on a loop. Helps me sleep.
I got reminded of one that I haven't seen in so many years. And this is probably going to sound real obvious to some of you, but one that I think is going to go back to me every year now is Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins is great.
Yeah, Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Yeah,
Gremlins is a Christmas movie. I just forgot that for years. I rewatched it with Louise.
Yeah, of course it is. There's lots of like anti-commercial things in it, like
Yeah.
No, it's so good.
It's so much
fun. They take a sort of Victorian-esque landlord and throw her out a window via a stair lift.
Like comically evil woman who is like outwardly like this is the sort of thing you get away with in the 90s of like a woman actually threatening to kill your dog.
Yep.
No subtlety.
That dog. That's what I love about that film though, because in the first scene she like threatens to, like, she's in the post office and she threatens to put the dog in a spin dryer, and some town guy is standing next in the queue. He's like, yep, that'd kill it, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's probably like subtext that really only makes it funnier in the year of our Lord 2020. But it is very funny that she's also a landlord.
Yeah, but I think those are things that were like they were definitely topical for the time, but it's kind of like one of those things going. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yep.
You know. Like it's the same thing with like watching watching another Christmas classic is It's a Wonderful Life, but man, I mean a lot of the issues in it like still ring true today, because it's basically a guy working in like the equivalent of a credit union telling a banker like no, because it's like no, we have to stay open because you'll basically just put up cheap housing people won't be able to afford the mortgages on it, and they won't be able to afford mortgage or rent, and it'll just drive down the quality of the town. And that's exactly what happens when he decides he doesn't want to exist anymore.
Well, again, it was like it was a kind of, I don't know if he's second generation, but the director wasn't an American, like, sort of native. Like, I don't think you get that perspective in, like, the 30s, 40s of filmmaking from without that outside context. Actually, bizarrely enough, have you ever seen the thing on Netflix, this documentary called Five Came Home?
No.
It's not Christmassy at all, but it's brilliant because the name of the director, It's a Wonderful Life, escaped me at the moment, but basically these 5 really great film directors from the 30s and 40s were all sent off to war just to film footage of World War II for propaganda purposes. And they get 5 big modern film people like, Spielberg, Lawrence Kasdan, Guillermo del Toro, like I can't remember who else it is, but they get them to essentially do like a profile on their time in the war, and it's mesmerizing. It's only 3 episodes, but it's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to kick myself for not remembering the director of It's a Wonderful Life, but yeah, if you're looking for something to kill 3 hours, that is absolutely amazing. Like, it's well worth a watch.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining me in my
your little
conversation cul-de-sac there. yes. It's I'm afraid that the full thing is locked behind $27.99 on Disney Plus. You're gonna have to go there to get the rest of it.
Yeah.
Mulan, is that you?
Ian, is that a concentration camp behind you?
That is the name of my TED Talk. Mulan, is that you? With a special appearance by Ming-Na Wen.
Sponsored by the CBC.
I'm gonna look up It's a Wonderful Life. This is driving me crazy.
CCP, that's the one.
But guys, so should we talk about the big Disney explosion that has come out? The Frank Capra. Sorry. Anyway, should we talk about the big Disney explosion?
Really, like it is a real wonder of just scheduling. The fact that this came out like the day after the last show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like, we finished the show. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a deluge.
Yeah. Well, look, this is what I will say. After years of doing weekly podcasting, it always just seems to happen that the day after you record a show is when all the news happens. It just seems to go that way. But like, one of the things that the one of the things that just like struck me by it was like just there was so much stuff to unpack from it. It was genuinely difficult to Google everything in one place.
I think I showed Cian it first, and like, it was just the Twitter thread, and you just kept scrolling.
Yeah, I had the worst luck. Kev literally broke the news to me because my like phone credit ran out the night of the explosion, and so we were like on the floor, and Kev, mentioned to me, because we're not allowed to have phones on the floor, hush hush, that there was this thing, and I was like, what? And I don't have Twitter. He had to show me this like scrolling all these announcements, and it's like it's almost moving too fast to process all of it. Like, if you told me in isolation that Kang was joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that would have been enough excitement for a week for me, let alone all the deluge of Star Wars stuff,
Yeah, like it just if anything, this is really just a signifier of just how much Disney owns, and that's terrifying.
Yep.
Like the one that caught me off guard was because they own Fox, they now own FX. So they made FX announcements. So via the Disney Twitter account, we found out that there are 4 more seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But we knew that was coming anyway. Like they had already said it without officially announcing it.
When the first announcement of this comes from Disney, this is where we're at 2020.
Yeah. You know, it's a very weird time to be alive.
Wild.
Yeah, it's a weird time to be alive when Disney's promoting It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's kind
the
of
gang
beautiful.
gets bought out by Disney.
Yeah.
The gang has legal consultation with the mouse.
Oh.
So Disney owns the rights to the. So Disney owns the rights to Lethal Weapon 5 now.
Yep.
Like the version they did in It's Always Sunny.
Well, listen, all I'm saying is Disney now has at their disposal 2 very different Jiminy Crickets. Crossover.
If they ever need someone to play an ostrich in a Disney movie, they've got the right actor ready.
Listen, that Pinocchio live action's happening.
Oh, God. The first one was horrifying enough.
I am still because like it's not. Wait, is this Del Toro?
No, Del Toro's a stop motion.
Yeah,
stop motion. Yeah, because I remember like this. This was one of these things that was in production hell for years, and it was came all the time. But the one thing that stuck with me was one of the original casting rumors was Tom Waits as Geppetto, and that would be amazing.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Amazing, but also deeply uncomfortable as to have Tom Waits.
Well, that's just Pinocchio.
Terribly unsettling.
Have you seen them transform into those donkeys?
I have, but
in the live action, yeah. Great movie.
In anything,
that CGI Jiminy Cricket was horrific.
Again, Del Toro. You know, I mean, I don't think Del Toro has it in his bones to do anything less than just mildly unsettling. I think it's.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's as soft as his sensibilities get.
Apparently, there was another Pinocchio, like a live action one that came out like this year, and it's in Italian, and it's supposed to be horrifying.
I'd well believe it. I'd well believe it.
Nothing will ever beat the first Disney cartoon, the one that came out in like the 40s or the 50s. And he's like, "Why are you crying?" And he's like, Geppetto goes, "Because you're dead, Pinocchio." And he goes, "But I'm not dead." And he's like, "Yes, you are. Now lie down."
See,
can I just say, not that I want to give too much praise to Disney, but I'm really impressed that they didn't edit out like the cigars and the alcohol and stuff on Disney Plus Pinocchio.
Well, that was they haven't edited out any of the original stuff. So like if you go into the original Lady and the Tramp, they still have the very, very racy Siamese cats, whereas in the new one they've changed all that.
Yeah, but yet no Song of the South. So
yeah.
Song of the South gets a bad rap. It's just boring.
It was blaxploitation. That's what it was. It may not have been overly racist, but it was blaxploitation.
Yeah, it was like the most high-profile, well-budgeted blaxploitation film ever made.
Yeah,
and no one's allowed to see it anymore because of that reason.
Yeah,
you know, under no circumstances can they know that that black people were paid better than the average blaxploitation film. Like, oh man. Oh well, at least we always have Boss N-word to watch instead.
God, you're really hitting between this and bloody Son of the Mask. You're really hitting the IMDb bottom 100. You know, fast and loose in this Christmas episode.
Yeah, it's the bottom 100's a more fun 100, to be honest.
Let's see what else is sticking around this bag. Hey, how do guys feel like Trolls 2?
Oh,
they're eating him, and then they're gonna eat me.
And then they're gonna eat me.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
The thing I love about that is that like that isn't even the most ridiculous thing in that film. And it's the most famous bit from it, and it's not even like if you think that's ridiculous and you haven't seen Troll 2, see how the film ends, and tell me that that's still the most ridiculous part of it.
You can't spill in hospitality. I won't allow it.
not the cheeseburger, the cholesterol. Oh, it's so bad. I love that film so much. Like,
have you seen the documentary on the making of Trolls 2 yet? Like they did one like 3 or 4 years ago.
Movie.
That's it.
That was done by the guy who played the father, and it's very good.
Explains a lot.
It's very, very good if you haven't seen it. But like, a lot of things become very, very understandable, because remember watching it and going like, why have they taken a thesaurus to natural dialogue? And then finding out that the director's Italian and he just thought that he knew how Americans behaved better than Americans did. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, that now everything makes sense. Like, you must leave my room. This is a teenager girl, by the way. Go, you must leave my room or before my father discovers you. And you're like, what?
It was he that kissed me.
Yeah. You know, there's a grandfather. We're not sure which of the parents is their child, because both of them seem to claim ownership of them. It's a bit weird. At least I think that they shouldn't claim parentage, but you know, again, maybe that's the Italian director making a statement on the American family. But yeah, Troll 2, classically.
Well, Troll 2 is
classically
a statement on deep cultural norms and problematic societies, or maybe it's just a guy who doesn't know how to write a script.
Yep. Either theory is possible.
Finger in both scales.
All you need to learn from that movie is it doesn't matter what your skill level is, dreams do come true.
All you need to learn about that movie is you don't need to actually have a troll in your Troll 2 movie.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Always just keep submitting. Something's gonna
keep on keeping on.
Hey, look, you know, it's really important to note that like
never stopping.
It's really important to note that like a lot of films they don't get completed, and even if you don't think the film's going very well, you might as well force it through to completion, because you know what, someone might think, hey, this piece of crap is really fun, and then you'll get a whole new lease on life because of it.
Then you end up with something like The Disaster Artist, where your movie was so terrible that they had to make another movie about how terrible your movie was.
Your movie missed
Your writes a book on how bad the making of that movie was, and then James Franco makes a movie about it.
Yeah. Your film misses the mark so wildly that someone else decides to make a movie, right? That someone who worked on it wanted to write a book about it, and someone read that book and decided, I'm making a movie about that book. Wild
guys, there's a reason the film Ed Wood exists.
Yeah. I just need one for the guy I just need a film for the guy who made Birdemic, and I'll be real happy.
Yeah.
The guys who did Dolomite Is My Name. I'm pretty sure they're the Ed Wood guys anyway. So like they've found their niche in writing these kind of so bad it's good type characters.
And that band that plays that song Hanging Out With My Family, they just need to just bring them back, because that song is absolutely brilliant.
I need a TED talk on how, for a start, the guy who pitched Cube got that movie made, and how he managed to swindle a studio out of 3 of them.
Yeah. I love Cube.
Join us for
Cube's great.
Cube is ridiculous.
Our new TED Talk, Force It Through to Completion, starring Brin.
Just do it anyway.
Just do it anyway. Just finish it. Just get it done.
Yeah, like I fucking you're telling this to the guy that has all 3 Cube DVDs.
Yeah. I love Cube
in a box set. It's not just all 3, it's a box set.
Yeah.
Sweet standard def DVDs.
Yep. The first look, hey man, I will hear nothing bad about the first Cube movie. I love it. The sequel and the prequel.
Okay, but what about Cube 2 Hypercube?
Hypercube is nonsense.
Lads, on behalf of me and the audience, what is Cube?
Yeah,
I feel like we're going too far here.
Okay,
we're going down the wormhole.
So basically, the premise for the 3 films.
Brin, can I please just read the blurbs from the back of the DVD?
You can.
Yes, do that.
I'm sorry. Please, people listening at home, comment nasty comments on our Facebook if this is way too niche. We need to know.
You need to watch these films. They're great.
Story time. Okay, so the blurb of the Cube 1 DVD: a cop, a professional thief, a student maths whiz, a psychologist, an autistic adult. 6 strangers awaken from their daily lives to find themselves trapped in a surreal prison, a seemingly endless maze of interlocking cubicle chambers armed with lethal booby traps. None of these people know why or how they were imprisoned, but it soon emerges that each of them has a skill that can contribute to their escape. Who created this diabolical maze and why? There are unanswered questions on every side, while personality struggles for power emerges, the tension rises, but one thing is crystal clear: unless they can learn to cooperate to work out the secrets of this deadly trap, none of them wow, they do not mention this. Okay, so the whole premise is that they wake up in a cube. They wake up in a cube room.
So it's Maze Runner.
They wake up in a cube room in a giant cube facility.
Yeah.
And some of the rooms are trapped.
Yeah.
They don't know which.
Yeah.
So
basically.
it's Maze Runner.
And then, so it's Saw.
It's Saw.
Yeah, but it came out. It came out in 1997. Saw is definitely heavily influenced by Cube.
Yeah.
And the Maze Runner.
And while Cube 1 kind of makes a little bit of logical sense, Cube 2 just threw like quantum magic physics at it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Why didn't they call it Cube Squared or something like that? Since you've got Cube as your name anyway. What
if the cubes travel through time?
Okay, now you have my attention.
Yep.
That's like when they lost the plot with Hellraiser and they just started putting them in space.
Yeah. Hellraiser had a plot?
The first one did.
Yeah.
There's like 10 of them or something.
Cube Zero.
Well,
it took the question of who controls the cubes.
Yeah. And the answer is...
That's a reasonable question.
And the answer is unbelievably underwhelming.
Is it
a resounding?
Is it Jason? Is it the Daleks? Is it Q? Because that'd be cool.
And the crowd goes mild.
Yeah, no, basically. Yeah. But yeah, like the first Cube is definitely worth watching. The director went on to do a few different bits and pieces. He does a lot of stuff for Westworld now. The TV show. Yeah.
The one about the robots.
The robots and all that jazz. But yeah, Cube is nuts. Would recommend it. It's just 90s schlocky fun at this point. And it also actually I'm not sure who else is a fan of Stargate and enough of a fan to watch Stargate Atlantis, but one of the actors from that is also in the first Cube film. But yeah.
Oh, I'm getting like straight to DVD vibes off this now.
Yeah, it's more like it probably would be straight to DVD by American standards. It was an independent Canadian horror film, so
okay, that's respectable, yeah.
Not too far off. Yeah, and like it's a good film. But yeah, I think for like, you know, I'm still looking for like the perfect horror film to watch over Christmas, because it's just a nice time to watch a horror film, because then I can just watch
again. Gremlins.
No, but I want an actual horror film that I can watch.
Scrooge is pretty horrific.
Yeah.
Hellraiser 5, Hellraiser in space.
Mm.
I'm not even
Jason
kidding.
10, Jason in space.
I'm not even kidding. Like Hellraiser 5 is literally they're in space.
Yeah. If I wanted to watch a good Hellraiser film in space, I would just watch what was that film? What's that film called again now? Event Horizon. I just watched that instead.
I thought.
Yeah, we talked about that in the show before.
I thought you were going to say Jason X.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
did you say Jason 10, Cian?
Yeah. He did say Jason 10.
No, Jason.
I wanted to illustrate how many entries there were by that point.
Yeah.
Because he'd taken Manhattan and only space was left.
Yeah.
I must go to the one place that hasn't been conquered by capitalism.
Space.
To space.
Oh God. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Oh,
he is a treasure.
That one thing if it was J. Jonah Jameson versus Tim Curry.
Yeah, well, like I think it's really sad that like he's had to do he's had to spend like the last while in his career just doing voice acting, but that did mean that he played G. Gordon Godfrey for a season or two of DC's Young Justice series, and he was so good in it. He basically was like doing like an English or Australian Glenn Beck, which was just so entertaining. But yeah,
dude, he was Palpatine in the Clone Wars for a while. He's having loads of fun with voice stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he kind of has to do the voice stuff. He doesn't really like, he had a stroke.
Yeah.
That's
why he
didn't know
moved to
that.
Yeah, no, that's why he
he's
moved to
wheelchair
voice.
bound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no.
Yeah, that's why he's not doing any that's why he's not doing any physical acting, is because like he physically can't.
Yeah. That's why they should do.
Oh no.
I would still petition to get him back in if there was a remake of Doctor Strangelove going around. Just because he would be really, really good.
He could do that, yeah.
Or a sequel to Muppets Treasure Island. It's not too late.
What, you want like Long John
I know the
Silver
book.
in a wheelchair?
Well, he could be in his rowboat for the whole thing.
Yeah. He could. He could. I think that might be a bit dangerous, though. To be honest. Unless
Okay, well, you have the Muppets carry him round. It's very much in his character.
Oh no, we're going into dangerous territory here. Let's cut that conversation.
I don't know if I trust the modern Muppets to pull that off.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I haven't been brave enough to check out the new Muppet stuff. Are we still talking about Christmas or Disney?
Occasionally going on to
Christmas, my guy.
Yeah, it's all Christmas. Yeah.
Welcome back to this festive special. Have you enjoyed our TED talk on the Second World War and the cubes and the tragic nature of Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Is this still Christmas?
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah. No, we're hovering in and out around the concept of Christmas and all that it entails.
Trying to sneak a sneaky slice of turkey, just kind of ebbing around.
Yeah. Much like in Hypercube, we're just going in and out of the. If Christmas is sensible plot and we're trying to stay on track with it, we're like Hypercube, where we veer close to it but never really reach it.
It's like the DVD
and then we end up in
logo
space.
bouncing along the screen. It never quite hits the corner.
That's exactly what it is. Like in that amazing
that
episode
keeps
of The Office.
Brin, try that with your kid. Honestly, Prim loves it. Like just like anytime in the corner. Oh no! I'll lend you mine. And a blank TV.
I'm sure you could just Google like DVD.
Oh, there
screensaver.
has to be a 10-hour version on YouTube.
No, but that'll be the same every time. You need the magic.
And I'm sure someone's got it mixed with rain effects.
Oh, don't even diss the rain effect.
I'm just gonna look up. Yeah, literally the first search on YouTube is 10 hours of a DVD logo screensaver. So
I give you dads on the.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you listen to me and Brin's episode like 2 episodes ago, yes, tired dads on the internet. Yeah. Is basically the new show, and you guys are special guests. Sorry.
That's fair.
We're just like literally bouncing around space in a DVD logo shaped cube.
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much what every episode of the show is like. I feel, You know
what? Are we all just
like all the topics are in the corners, and we just keep hitting near them?
Aren't we all but in a cube of our own making?
You certainly are.
Yeah. Look, this is what happens.
Well, since we've forsaken Christmas anyway, have you guys checked out the new Den yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't have regular telly, and the RTE player is where sadness comes from.
Yeah, the closest.
Oh, the RTE player is cack, but it's well worth it. It's so funny.
The closest thing I have to regular TV is the Channel 4 app.
Oh, all 4. Yeah,
all 4,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 4.
Okay, well, let me picture this. Andrea Corr and Dustin the Turkey singing Fairy Tale in New York.
I'm gonna have to stop you there, Cian.
Yeah. That sounds like a big pile of no thank you to me.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it's great though.
There's no particular reason why I have to stop you. I just have to stop you.
Don't you be Father Tedding at me. It's genuinely, look, in a week with Star Trek Discovery and The Mandalorian, the Den has edged its way into our favorite viewing thing of the week. It's just anarchy and it's great crack.
I don't believe you. is my response.
There's one episode left. You're gonna have to see it.
I'm really not gonna do that.
You will be trapped in a cube of your own curiosity.
I absolutely will not. I will be trapped in a cube of my own inebriation is what I'll be trapped in.
Dustin the turkey.
Well, whenever you do Christmas,
cardboard box.
because Zig and Zag are awesome.
Yeah, but is Dustin even still a thing?
Well, it doesn't matter if he's a thing. It's entertaining. I don't need him to be a fad or anything. It's just good TV.
No, I don't mean a fad. Like, obviously he's not a fad because he's not, like, I haven't seen him anywhere in years.
Yeah.
Like, is
not
he
since he
still a
lost the
thing?
Eurovision. In what sense? What a thing.
He's been working behind the scenes. He's been doing a lot of production credits.
Yeah.
He went into directing.
Yeah, he's been he's really gotten more into the technical side of how everything's done.
Yeah, you kind of get to that point with Hollywood. Yeah, he wrote the last 3 seasons of NCIS.
Yeah, he's been instrumental in how the plot's been delivered for the last Fast and the Furious films as well. So.
Yeah, he directed the last Spider-Man.
He did do that. That's a fact.
I was wondering why that European movie had a segment in like Ballyfermot. Actually, that explains a lot.
You leave Ballyfermot out of this, right?
Hey, I'd want Spider-Man to come to my town.
Yeah.
She's done it before.
Yeah.
Go check out the first episode of Doing It for the Exposure. You'll see some weird stuff.
Any episode of that show, it gets weird.
As all good podcasts do.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the hill I'm willing to die on. The Den is great crack, and they do it live, and there's a mad twist on it every single week, and I'm going to really miss it after this week's Christmas special.
So that they have like killers or some shit? Is that what I understand from this?
Well, you're just going to have to watch it, won't you?
They bring in like Nancy Drew to solve mysteries.
They bring in a different crime solver each week. One week it's Nancy Drew, another week it's Poirot.
Oh, who was the guy that used to draw for them?
Who?
The Don Connolly? Don Conroy?
Conroy.
Oh, I tried to order his books in. They're out of print.
Oh, he's great.
Oh. Why do you keep bringing my mood down, Katie? First Tim Curry and now this.
Well, I just said he was great. And he's on Instagram and Facebook and everything, so you can follow him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've just got a text from Darragh saying, "Let me in." Should we leave him?
Yes, do let me in. It's cold
outside. I was going to say hang in so we have to hear this in the edit.
No. Seriously, you guys gotta let me in.
just the error.
Oh my god. Darragh's like Force Ghost is beaming in from like the bridge of a Star Destroyer. Not with radio or Spotify listeners who get the benefit of it.
That's horrific, Darragh.
It's not beaming him in fully, so we're losing.
Kind of like
we're kind of losing. Okay, I'm back. Oh my god, we're back. You know what it is? It's this light that's always way too.
It's your
way
JJ.
too bright.
You were like dissolving at the head.
Oh, do you want me to move it full lens flare? I've got this bloody lens flare light right behind me.
I don't know. We need to do something about the lens flare light. It's ridiculous. I don't even know why it's so bad. It's just always is.
You need to talk to your lighting guy. You need to get some softer rays in here.
You know, Brin,
is that you?
Brin,
Somebody's got to be fired.
Brin, you know what we need to do? We need to bring in Rusty.
No, we got rid of Rusty for a very good reason.
He needs a second chance. He needs a job. It's the holiday season, you heartless man.
Rusty had 204 different chances.
He tried.
And he tried every time, but he failed every time.
Oh man, poor old Rusty. Rusty.
He conned us out of too many Christmases.
Rusty, sorry, help. What?
It was an in joke we had from years ago where we had another person.
Oh, I could tell it was an in joke.
Yeah.
So we'd have a background person who may or may not be real.
Yeah,
who every time Rusty would go wrong, we'd blame Rusty.
And he'd say, "I'm sorry, I tried." That's all it was.
Father, build me legs.
Build me legs.
Father.
Why was I programmed to feel?
See, Homer? That's why your robot didn't work.
So how late am I?
Quite late.
That's okay.
I've tried to talk about the Disney explosion 3 times, and instead, why don't you give us because I trust Kev to keep notes based on his own show.
I don't know what I was talking about 5 minutes ago.
When we do your anime show, you have like prepared notes and things, and I rock up and I barely have a microphone.
Well, look what arrived today, gang.
That's my show.
Nice.
The boogie mess that is Cyberpunk.
Broken one.
The broken one. But it's okay. I'm okay that it's broken. I like it. Here's the thing. Cyberpunk is supposed to be broken and janky. This is exactly what it's supposed to be.
It's broken like me.
Build me pixels.
It's like, I think people will finally be like, hey, when you say a game's not done, it means the game's not done. Stop bullying.
Yeah.
Please no bully.
Yeah, but then don't announce a game until it's done.
Don't release a game until it's done.
Yeah.
But dude, like the amount of like, I haven't even put that in yet. Literally, I was working so much that I didn't get a chance to, and this was supposed to arrive yesterday. So like, I was just like, okay, I haven't even put this in, but I know the minute I pop this into the PS4, the patch is gonna be like 80 gigs.
Yeah.
Bethesda, is that you?
See, here's the thing. Bethesda got away with this for ages. It's fine, except for Fallout.
That's because they just released the creation.
Just because you keep getting away with something doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, it's not like we're calling it Jeffrey Dahmer here.
I don't know. I'm okay with what Project CD Projekt Red did. It's fine. They're grand. They tried.
They should just do what Bethesda does. Give the fans the creation kit and let them fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Well, that will probably happen eventually. But here's the thing, you can fix it. Yeah, apparently it works fine on the PC and works fine on next gen. It's just PlayStation 4 that apparently is bad. So we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna play it on Twitch. So yeah, check that. And I have next week off. So that's what my next week is gonna be.
Having time off at Christmas.
I know, it's weird. It's weird. When he told me, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I would have thought that you being a techie type would be slammed right until New Year's.
See, the main thing about it is, it's like, what I do is fine. Like, it's not so much dealing with issues, putting out fires. We handle stuff before the fires happen. So, it's fine. Brin,
you just you take the matches off the child and you're like, no, put those away.
Yeah, Brin is the one putting out the fires.
Someone who has a child, you can't.
Darragh's job is more going, maybe the fire's a feature. Maybe. You just have to look at
screensaver.
Yeah, you have to look at it both. You have to look at it from both sides.
The scene from the IT crew where Denim sees the fire.
Yeah, that's what they was quoting. Yeah. I love how the smoke seems to be coming off the top.
Also, finally crossed over to the dark side and got a Mac mouse. Look at that. Look how ridiculous that is.
Boo-earns.
I know.
This is how they get you and keep you.
A Mac keyboard too.
Yeah. This again.
No.
It's disgusting, right?
Yeah. This is how they get you and keep you. They just, you get used to it, and then you're like, I need this level of luxury in all aspects of my life.
Absolutely. And then that's it.
I'm doing my hardest, Joey, pretending to understand Nod.
Yeah.
I will have to say though, for all the hatred that I gave Max, I feel really sorry. I feel bad about it because they're pretty good. But this thing is ridiculous. Look at this. This cost 50 quid. It's like the USB-C to digital multi-port adapter. Why does this cost so much money?
Because Apple.
Because Apple.
But that doesn't make any sense. I have a better one here that costs like a tenner. It makes sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's not Apple.
They own it, not Apple. And you must buy it.
Yeah.
It's a scam. It's a scam. Yeah. I will give them the mouse and the keyboard. It's pretty good, but
yeah. You see, this is how they get you though, because you just get in the habit of going, oh, I have to buy these extra bits, and then they go, oh, well, you need to buy your own charger as well. Okay, that makes sense.
They don't even give you a charger anymore.
Oh yeah, because they're bad for the environment. Unlike every other.
Your phone needs a charger. Like if they give you one, then you won't have to buy one.
Wait, who doesn't give iPhones don't have chargers?
They don't have chargers
the newest
now.
Ones don't. Yeah, my girlfriend got the 12, and the charger comes separate.
Listen, if your phone doesn't come with a charger, you've been scammed.
Like, I'm sorry, but if your phone costs $1,000, the least they can do is give you a charger.
Yeah.
Man,
Like,
or even just a cable.
yeah, my
for the wall.
no, it does come with the cable. It just doesn't come with the rest of it. Is the problem?
And you can't even put headphones in them.
No.
Well, well, you could just drill into it.
Yeah.
Put it in the microwave.
Put it in the microwave and charge it. You know, that's the solution.
Yeah.
Not saying you should do that, but
was it the last make of
why would
that
Fortran
spontaneously exploded as well?
If I remember anything from the last chemistry class I did nigh on 10 years ago, potato. That's your solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Potato is the answer.
Look, I went to a school where people lit magnesium on fire in the back of geography for a joke. Like, I never had a chance of understanding.
Where did you get magnesium?
I guess the science room.
This is so fancy.
Yeah, such a fancy posh.
Yeah, we did
school
exactly.
The screw ups are like getting magnesium to light on fire.
Yeah, like
magnesium lying around.
Sorry, go on. It was a black rock school.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
Here's the thing, Keith. In the hood, they just set each other on fire or the classroom on fire.
He was giving boy with magnesium to burn.
But like, he was giving me grief for being from Ballyfermot.
I wasn't giving you grief. I just said that Dustin the Turkey would be happy to take his film career there. If you have a problem with that, then that's more on you than me.
Mr. Black Rock over here burning magnesium.
This was before the money. This was before they'd have their daily money fight. That's the truth of it as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, that is an integral part of accounting class. You take that.
Of course. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn a lot about money by picking it up off the floor.
Absolutely. Just what you got to do. You got to do it. You know. But. Oh man, I still can't believe they burn magnesium. I didn't even see magnesium.
They weren't supposed to.
I didn't even see it.
Where I come from, they just burn each other's hair or something. Like,
it just
magnesium up in here.
It hits the ceiling quicker than you hear it, which is mad in and of itself. Can I just say, I didn't do it. I was just in the classroom when it happened.
Of course you were.
Funny story.
Unlikely story.
Funny story. True story. So. Here's when my school got banned from Trinity, right? Because someone set off a stink bomb in the heart of Trinity, and for the rest of I think they're unbanned now, but for 4 or 5 years, just no one from my school was allowed to go to Trinity in uniform. So,
oh wow!
They're like, a minute out of uniform, they're like, no.
But the heart of Trinity is outdoors.
Oh, but they just go everywhere.
So this was in one of their little classrooms that they had around it. So.
Oh, okay. Because if you just let it off in the courtyard, it would just dissipate within minutes.
it's just like, what's this? Oh my god. So okay.
I used to do theater. Yeah. No. Let's go on with Trinity. My weirdest memories of Trinity. No, I used to do theater shows there, and all I remember is whenever I'd walk around, people would just yell "concierge" at me for reasons to this day I still can't understand.
Because you wear a waistcoat.
Can someone?
And a bow tie.
Where you wearing?
Oh, now it makes sense.
Where are you wearing a bow tie and waistcoat?
It's me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. I thought they meant to be to do something.
Yeah. Cian, if you're wearing the uniform, don't expect it to get treated like you're don't expect to get treated any different than someone who's wearing a uniform.
This
raises so many questions. Does Trinity have concierges? Were they literally requesting a drink?
I've gift wrapped you this present on Christmas. It's self-awareness.
The ship has sailed on that one.
I know Trinity do have a tradition where you can wear a sword if you're your top of your class or something like that. And I know you're allowed. And you're allowed to bring a goat as well.
Yeah.
To class also. So you have some weird rules. So
it's that if you have the key to the city, you're allowed to let your sheep graze in there or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember I had a lecturer who got her PhD just as she started lecturing in my college from Trinity, And she found a nice little loophole with the rules for the conferring, which was that like for women, there wasn't really a dress code. It was just like, it basically was just like dress in black, but it didn't really say if it was black tie, if it was black dress or whatever. So she went grand and went down and bought an all black Nike tracksuit.
Oh,
She's like, doesn't say anything wrong with this. So.
I thought you were gonna say she showed up dressed as like Darth Vader or something.
To be fair,
Speaking of which,
yes.
do you have any thoughts, Darragh, now that you're here from your Star Destroyer, do you have any thoughts on the Disney explosion that's come out last week, either way?
Okay, so there's been 2 times in my life that I went to bed early. First time, I mean, I was so angry that I had to go to bed and give up on the day. The first time was when I watched Transformers 2 and got so upset I had to clock, right? Try and process it. The second time was when I found out Disney bought Star Wars, and I've been justified in that upset and that resolute anger towards Disney Star Wars. So look, while I'm willing to admit that The Mandalorian is pretty good and I have enjoyed the 2 episodes I've watched, that's enough. I'm grand now. But I caught up. I'm like, oh, grand, okay. I don't know. I'm glad with what Katie said as far as your suggestion that they should just do TV shows. I think that's a much better way of doing things. But there's nothing that really kind of grabs me, with the exception of Obi-Wan. I'm just like, okay. But I'm still like, the cool thing is it seems that they are gradually wiping away the sequels through these shows, which is apparently what they're doing, which is cool. I think it's a great idea, because obviously, and yeah. So look, we'll see what happens. Nothing there grabs me at the moment where I'm like, oh my god, I need to watch this. But I think following the Marvel blueprint now, where it's like, let's just use this massive platform that we have to actually tell stories that can breathe, is a much better approach. Like that was the biggest problem with the last movie, was that so much happened and none of it made any sense. It didn't fit together. And we did bingo. It was so wild. This time
that was great. I regret that we weren't able to do bingo this year.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I regret about a Star Wars movie not coming out this Christmas.
Absolutely. But the thing about it was, it's like, because The Mandalorian fixes all the problems that we identified, as far as like, you're able to follow this big long narrative because everything kind of makes sense, and you have these characters and you have time to breed and grow, and even introduce other characters from Legends or bring them back in, or like we're seeing with Ahsoka and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool, right? But don't make any more movies because you can't do it, right? It's just you can't do it, you know? That's my main takeaway from this. I think they know they can't do it, so they're like, right, this works. Let's just make loads of Mandalorian.
They have fictionally got 25 years between The Mandalorian and Force Awakens, which they need to just cram in with as much content as possible before they hit that wall.
Well, see, that's why I think they're going to sidestep that wall completely and just probably do something with the wills, where they just change. Because they've already done that in Rebels. And they're bringing in so many people from Rebels, including Tron's coming back, which is crazy. So that means, obviously, where has he been? He's probably in with the will.
Well, you're going to have to watch Rebels to find out, like you said. Yeah, that's where he left off.
Of course, and that's what I mean. But him and Ezra, Ezra coming back, they're like setting up this thing where, yeah, okay, right, Force Awakens may have happened, but it didn't happen in this timeline.
I suppose the good thing about The Force Awakens, sorry to interrupt across you, Brin, but all 3 of those movies take place in 1 year. You could send Baby Yoda on like a really long trip around Tatooine, and he could miss that whole. Okay, Grogu.
It ain't sticking.
It's not sticking. It's Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda.
They should have named.
Trying to make Grogu happen.
They should have just named him that from the beginning, and maybe would have stuck then.
Yeah, like even the child, like, they never once call him Baby Yoda. They call him the child. That doesn't stick either. No, it's like
Mandalorian doesn't know what a Jedi is, though. Like that's how removed this is from all that nonsense.
But see, what's weird about that is, like, Return of the Jedi is like 6 years from there. It's like, hold on a minute.
Right.
You should know what a Jedi is. You know, it's
Isn't
like, it's not
Ahsoka a Jedi though?
yeah, Ahsoka's a
Well,
Jedi, so it's like
Oh yeah, but what I mean is like just all he knows about the Jedi is that one meeting with Ahsoka. He doesn't know about the Force or any of the kind of cultural touchstones or anything like that. Like to them, Jedi might as well be Klingons as far as he's concerned. Like
I would still argue that it's a lot weirder for Han to not know who the Jedi are than it is for one Mandalorian.
Well,
who's clearly grown up in a religious cult.
Well, here's the thing: it's a lot weirder. It's a lot weirder for Luke Skywalker to be like a myth, and the Jedi to be a myth like 30 years after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
That made no sense, and still still makes no sense. It's like, hold on a minute. There was a massive war. There was a massive hate campaign against them. There was an empire with literally an evil Sith. Are you for real? It's like that's like saying.
Well, no, but that's kind of understandable in the sense that because the empire wiped them out, they can just change the history and nobody's going to question it.
But they still, but you couldn't say they're a myth because they existed. You could say that they were evil, which
Like
that's what happened.
Yeah, but if you have the empire constantly going, no, there weren't any Jedi.
Yeah,
I suppose.
But again, their narrative was never that like they didn't exist. It was that they were a corrupt, outdated religious sect that had too much influence over the Senate.
Yeah, like unless you saw them like lift a rock or something, you wouldn't believe that the Jedi had powers, I suppose.
But again, when the Jedi basically pick up any child from around the galaxy and go, you're coming off to train with us, it's very easy to other them when no one knows who the fuck they are. Well, even in universe.
And this just adds more credibility.
Well, you just pick up any child. You make it sound just going to playground.
That is literally what happened. That's literally what happens because Anakin was a 9-year-old child and was too old.
Yeah.
We're here for your child, ma'am.
Do not resist.
we are men in robes.
His Metachlorian count is through the charts. Congratulations.
All I'm saying is
hello, madam. Please ignore the robes. I noticed that your 3-year-old child can lift rocks when it's mine. I will.
Have you heard the good word of Bo-Katan or Kylo Ren or whatever it is? Who's that Jedi you love, Darragh?
Kyle Katarn was like
that's him. Yeah,
dude. But he was years after that. Like he was like
it's the Star Wars. There's prophecies and force time travel left, right, and center, though.
Well, see, that's the thing, and they're finally starting to understand that now that they can do that and actually fix the problems. Because look, if the Mandalorian had failed, that would have been it. Like that would have been it. Like that's dead, never coming back, right? Like we're talking like Irish economy dead, you know.
Celtic Tiger, woo!
Yeah. No, current.
Magnesium.
Current dead.
You mean one of the few economies to still grow despite pandemic?
Well,
worldwide, you know.
Yeah, but still. Anyway, what we're saying is the main thing about it is there would have been no coming back from it, right? But now because they fixed now the Mandalorian has like shown kind of the way, like. Sorry, didn't mean to make a pun there. I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, okay. Anyway, instead of the show,
that was the Star Wars equivalent of like a pint glass falling in a pub.
I know.
Like,
the fact that they showed like kind of the methods that work and the story and storytelling that works is like, I think any film that comes out, it doesn't fit anymore. You know, like you don't have somebody with the grand scope of storytelling of George Lucas who has the overall vision to be able to squish down.
Well, I mean, I think Dave Filoni has proven that he does.
Yes, exactly. But Dave Filoni is a TV guy. Yeah. And what he's doing is great. And Jon Favreau would probably be the only one to maybe do a film that would actually kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
I think, Katie is right. TV shows are just the way to do Star Wars. It's so obvious now.
My personal opinion on Star Wars will always be make Knights of the Old Republic and then stop.
Fair.
Just stop. That's enough.
Knights of the Republic and Bane, and you'd be good. If you just follow that, you'd be okay.
Yeah. I would like to actually bring up what is the hidden gem in these Star Wars announcements in just a little one that they announced called Visions that I think is incredibly fascinating. Visions, it sounds like it's very thin on details, but it's an anthology series. It's only kind of short excerpts just kind of from the universe. but it's being apparently done by it's going to be done by anime creators in Japan.
Nice.
Which, yeah, no, of course I'm the one bringing this up. It's my brand.
I was
But,
gonna say, did you like comb through this to find the anime
hey,
in
listen,
there?
I didn't comb through it; it combed at me. But I think that's obviously like this depends on the names, but like, you know, they got Disney money throw around, so like if they can pull out like a Mario Okada or
Disney money is running out very
Misaki
quickly.
Yuasa,
Disney money's running out very quickly.
Not if they're charging 30 quid to watch Mulan.
It doesn't mean they're getting 30 quid for Mulan.
Yeah, that would have paid for it.
Sorry, I don't mean to tangent, but it made me really happy to see that Mulan remake in Tesco for 10 quid already.
Oh, it bombed.
Well, it's
bombed.
free on Disney now. Yeah, it's past it's past the preview stage.
No.
I wouldn't even. Here's the thing. I wouldn't even steal the movie. So.
In theory.
Oh, in theory, for educational purposes, of course.
No, Darragh, you outwardly said.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did say. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
because screw the CCP. Like,
oh yeah, exactly. No, I did steal the movie.
Yeah, steal. Steal the one that's supporting concentration camps. Yeah, that's the one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Horrible movie. Anyway, but look, actually, on that point, right? Not that point, but a similar point. What do you guys think about like the Marvelization of Star Wars? Like, do you think that's like a good approach, or do you think there's too much Star Wars? Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here saying that phrase.
I think the Marvelization of Marvel didn't even work.
Well, now with like, I'm really excited about WandaVision. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, really excited about it.
I'm hyped about all of them, to be honest. I don't want to be like a kind of fanboy, but the Loki trailer looks great. WandaVision looks great. The Falcon one looks great, and the What If looks bonkers.
Absolutely.
Which I'm all in for.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, I think the movie thing got a bit thin as well. Like, by the time, to be honest with you, the pandemic's probably the best thing that ever happened to Marvel, because it's like people were getting kind of sick of it.
But like, even the whole thing with the Marvel movies was like they backed themselves into a wall, and then the only way out of it was time travel.
Yep.
Yeah.
You make it.
Star Wars have done too.
That's not fair, Katie, because you make it sound like they were like writing in real time and didn't have it like planned out. Obviously, the whole of Endgame
that's the thing.
Have been incredibly complex.
But they had it planned out, and they still backed themselves into a wall. How does that happen?
To be fair, though, I think it would have been very tempting after Endgame to do an even bigger thing. But they took, even pandemic aside, their slate was decidedly much smaller going into 2020. And they seem to have realized that, like, all right, we've gone as big as we can go. Let's let everyone breathe for a minute and miss it. Like, they didn't go DC, which was like Batman versus Superman. Bigger. Like, you know, even
Infinity War and Endgame should not have happened. They should just don't do it. Because like
they're a great movie.
But like they killed off everybody.
They
killed off everybody, and then the only way to fix it was time travel, which is a cop out in and of itself.
But here's the thing:
you're talking to a man with a TARDIS t-shirt.
The fact that they are adaptations of comic books, time travel was an inevitability.
But it just by today's standards, it's old hat.
Like time travel.
No, but like
I don't know.
You're making it sound like they wrote Infinity War and then went, oh no, what'll we do now? Like it was obviously like a
not at all.
To like.
What I just mean is that over the course of writing all of the movies, not just Infinity War, but all of the movies, they wrote themselves into a corner.
They did.
So they have just like not introduced Thanos at the end of the post-credit scene for the first Avengers film.
Well, like, I'm not saying don't introduce Thanos, but the whole thing of killing everyone.
But the whole point of introducing Thanos is to do
Infinity War. Time travel
would be my argument to that. Like, because like otherwise, like the way that like it was done in the comics had so many characters involved with power levels that they didn't have introduced by the time that they got around to doing the films.
Well, see, hold on, like just on the right before you guys, I just want to stop for 1 second, right? Because the difference between the comics and the movies, there's loads of them. But the main thing is, when they didn't realize this was going to become the biggest franchise in the world, right? Plus, they didn't have access to everybody. Like, to be honest with you, right? If Marvel probably would have done Secret War first. They probably would have done some kind of X-Men story first. They probably would have worked their way up to Infinity War and Endgame, but they kind of played the hand that they had, and now they kind of have to circle back to kind of redo. And that's what they're kind of doing now with this Doctor Strange WandaVision thing, where they're like, right, we kind of have to go back and start again. And that's what they're doing in a really kind of clever way. Now, I agree with you, Katie, it is kind of cheap to use time travel, but they played their hand that they were given, and that's why I'm saying it's understandable. It's just kind of annoying that they didn't get the run at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, for me, they lost me when they messed up Age of Ultron. Like that could have been a series in itself, and they just phoned it in.
Yeah, I agree there. That was
like Age of Ultron should not have happened.
No.
Age of Ultron, like Ultron when I read the comics as a kid, he was always my favorite because you just couldn't get rid of him. He was always somewhere.
Yeah. Like I think the best way in a movie format would have been to have have the first Avengers open up where it's just Iron Man. Where it's just Iron Man at the opening up, and it's him destroying the first iteration of Ultron, and then you open up the second Avengers movie, and it's Iron Man and it's Captain America and Thor, for the sake of argument, destroying the fourth or fifth iteration of Ultron.
Yeah, Ultron should have been recurring.
Yeah. But it's this thing like over time where it's just like this thing that was kind of like a scrub then becomes a major villain. Would have been good fun.
But see, here's the thing though, right? Like, I think this WandaVision thing and this multiverse thing is going to change everything, because it's fundamentally going to shift everything that we know, because it's cheap. It is cheap, but it's there. And it's what they're going to do. And, obviously there's a couple of things that they're saying, not to give spoilers, but apparently what Wanda does in WandaVision is the reason that the X-Men don't show up, and the reason that the Fantastic Four...
Well, that makes sense, because that's the House of M type thing, backwards.
Yeah, but what they're doing is she changes stuff so much that Doctor Strange has to go and fix it. And I think this is actually the arc, right? Again, this could change, but this really seems what the arc is. So WandaVision sets up Doctor Strange, right? And they're going through time to fix stuff. And then by the time we get to Spider-Man 3, they're still picking up the pieces, with Doctor Strange basically helping Peter fix things. So Well,
I would like it if the TV and kind of movies interacted a bit more. I feel because I've been back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recently. I feel so bad for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They worked so hard to set up the bloody Inhumans, which were the back door to having mutants in the X-Men universe. The Inhumans show messes the bed colossally, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just left hanging, I feel like they're always trying to put in the hard work, and then no one ever values them,
Too early, that's the only thing. Just a little bit too early.
Cian, I have to disagree with you.
Yeah, maybe that's fair.
Inhumans did not mess the bed. Inhumans messed the room.
In IMAX.
Still upset about She-Hulk.
Just like
what happened to She-Hulk?
So
it's Titania.
Somebody remember they released an article saying that She-Hulk had been cast as Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then she recently came out and said, "No, that's not happening."
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So I'm still upset about that.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
She's class.
She is. She's awesome.
When did she say she wasn't? Because I think she was.
I trust you, but I'm gonna double check this.
It was a few weeks ago. She came because someone was asking her, was she excited, and she was like, "Nobody ever approached me about that."
I saw her name attached on the Disney thread though.
The sheets lie.
Yeah.
All right, Brin.
You're right.
Yeah, the dirt sheets lie.
Titania Maslany debunks She-Hulk news. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like, to be positive though, it looks like they've cast Miss Marvel, and they're going to have the Miss Marvel in Captain Marvel too. So that's a cute dynamic I'm looking forward to. Oh, good. I've annoyed Darragh. I was hoping that would happen sooner or later.
No. Look, I don't mind Miss Marvel. I'll be honest with you, right? But she's not kind of. My sister got me the Avengers game for Christmas. I'm going to withhold my judgment until I have played. I know I've read the book too. It's over there.
It's
actually that game is
class.
all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. I'm going to play the game, and then I'll talk about it, because the comic was okay. I have the first edition actual proper thing over there, and I have the trade as well. And it's like, it's okay, but it's like, I wouldn't bet the house on her. And I want to see if the Avengers did that, which apparently they did, but we'll see.
Well, no, she does seem to be quite a secondary character even in the game.
See, I don't know. I think as a kind of companion to Young Avengers, which would be cool, makes sense.
That would be great.
Yeah.
They seem to be setting that up though, because they've got they aged up Ant-Man's daughter and Kate Bishop and all that kind of stuff. Like,
and look, I think that's cool, right? And also, again, you can do the mutants to that, but just putting her out there and betting the farm on her, which is what the comics did. It's like, oh, I wouldn't do that. They're not good, and nobody reads them. So yeah. It's true. Nobody reads them.
I don't know. I don't think. Well, I mean, I think Marvel is more stable in Star Wars in the respect that there isn't, like, for the moment, a tentpole movie, which if they scrap it or like fall in their face or something, like WandaVision and all these things, there's so many things in Marvel that it would take something cataclysmic to kind of slow down momentum at this point.
I don't think so. I think, like, as you said, you know, even going on GameStop. By the way, there's a sale on GameStop on merch. They can get some cool Star Wars figures for very cheap because, you know, of course, I need Star Wars figures, right? But yeah, but still, you're going through that. And I remember a time on GameStop when the biggest brand was Star Wars, and now it's Marvel. There's like 30 odd pages of Marvel merchandise, so it just shows you that even on that micro scale, it's such a bigger thing, bigger brand. So you're right, man. Like, I don't know what would derail Marvel. You know, honestly.
I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. We want more Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Yep.
I want Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, yep. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen's great. 2099.
Yep.
Even Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. Everyone. You know, we want more Spider-Verse.
Just make Spider-Man movies. Just do it.
They did that. They cast Andrew Garfield, remember?
Exactly. But here's the thing.
And they're bringing back Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, in the same movie. Also, and your man who played
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina's come back.
Yes, he's coming back to play Doc Ock.
See, I'm actually, even though I love Doc Ock, like, you know, it sounds like Sony has got their hands in it all over again, which I'm not thrilled about.
I know, that's okay though, because Marvel are like, here, you're drunk, I'm going to drive the bus.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's what they're doing. They're like, look, we can make your movies, but you need to chill out. And it's cool that they're kind of digging into that lore where it's like, right, all of it happened. So where does it fit? And I think that's a unique dynamic. It's basically, right, play with me here, right? So we had Star Wars, who had their expanded universe that was built on this concept. And then Disney were like, oh no. So Disney made their own expanded universe of all the stuff that existed. And now it's going to be the biggest thing ever. Yep. And Star Wars are like, actually, we should probably go back to that.
But DC are doing that as well.
They are. Yeah.
They're casting like multiple Batmans in the same movie.
I think that's amazing, man. I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, for me,
I don't know. It's like,
I want to see.
I feel like it's like
Michael Keaton as Batman again.
It's like the Gold Rush, though. It's like if you have a Spider-Man movie with 7 villains or a Justice League movie with 7 Batmans, eventually, so it's gonna confusion will just pop the bubble, you know.
No, I don't think so. I don't think people. I don't. Look, I have more faith in people to be like, okay.
Yeah.
You have more faith in people than me. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I do. No, I do in certain sense.
When it comes to Batman,
it's
exactly because it's Batman. It's like, come on, you don't need to hold people's hand.
When people could watch one Batman movie a night and basically cover every Batman who's currently alive. That's, you know,
I'm so down for that.
Like, it's not like it's a massive ordeal. I mean, the first Batman movie is like 90 minutes long.
Yeah, it's easy to watch.
Batman Forever is around the same runtime.
But here's the thing, though, right? On that point, well, here's it, right? We live in a world where
we do.
In a world.
We live in a society
with many Batmen.
No, hold on.
But only one screen to watch them.
Okay, hold on. But what I'm saying is, we live in a world where a movie about a bunch of space pirates, a talking tree, and a raccoon who talks became one of the biggest movies of the year. I think the ship has sailed on trying to pull people along. People will just be like, "Look, I'm into this. This is fine." Batman punches the poor. It's fine. You know,
Like that was
So-
one of the problems I had with the Nolan verse was that it was too realistic, it was too probable.
absolutely, yeah.
Mm.
Well, except for the third one, that
Yeah.
movie just gets worse and
Oh,
worse.
that was
yeah.
awful.
It's atrocious.
Also,
it's
in-
terrible film.
yeah.
Always
Also-
was.
I love the
in-
3 Nolan films personally.
Second one is the best one.
Second one is one of the best movies of all time. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
in
Yeah.
hindsight, the Tumblr's kind of dumb. I'm just gonna put that out there.
It is, but
you know,
it's
if
very
the
realistic.
money that he
know.
could, listen, if he had just followed his dad's plan by giving money and keep supporting and you know, he wouldn't have been needed. Instead, he goes off and becomes
they
a
wouldn't
ninja.
need a
That's
Batman.
punching people. It's like,
That's-
he
I
didn't
mean-
need to do
But
it.
that is the point of the movie. Alfred says it in the third one.
Literally,
They need Bruce
literally.
Wayne, your
But like
resources.
he's,
Like,
Yeah.
the entire. That's
he
what I.
is a billionaire. He could literally fund like
Yeah.
rehab and youth centers and like.
But that's what the
projects.
trilogy is about, though. It's about him, like, there's a reason he gives up being Batman. It's that Batman was never healthy for him, and
No, he gives up Batman because
the
his body
movie
is
series
wrecked.
No, hold on.
acknowledges that.
He gives up Batman because
Yeah, but
he
like,
gets a hot girlfriend. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and she's
But,
like,
like,
"Hey,
he's-
man, I want to go to Florence," and
But,
that's
like,
why he's like, "All right, fine."
At that point in his life, okay, by the third Nolan verse Batman, he's been Batman for like 2 years and he walks with a cane and he's got like, you know, gear strapped to his leg and he's a broken but like you've been Batman for 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But he doesn't wear hockey pads.
yeah. He
I
doesn't-
know, but if you were Batman in the real world, you would get beaten up really, really. Like in the first night he's Batman, he sleeps until 3 a.m. because he's covered in bruises and
Yeah,
blames it
but
on
he's a
polo or
billionaire.
something.
He's covered in armor.
Yeah.
It's-
This is why
He's not Iron Man though.
See, this is
But
the
he
thing.
could
He
be.
should have. He's a ninja.
Yeah.
He's just a really bad one.
This is an
In
argument.
the Nolan
this
movies.
is, this is why Tony Stark was pretty clearly smarter than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
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 Like-
But also, you know, it's just like, hey, you know those lads with guns?
Yeah, yeah,
Probably should reconsider your approach when you don't have superpowers. Because,
absolutely.
you know, it's just like,
Like it's also the fact that like Batman clearly led an escalation in terms of extreme people committing crime in Gotham City. Like
Absolutely.
clearly,
because it was just
led
mob
to that.
bosses, and then the Joker shows up and he's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
But
And,
that's
and next thing you
again,
know, the
that's-
district attorney's getting acid thrown in his face, and like, what's up with that?
And none of
I
that
know, but
happened
that's
before
what the-
Batman.
Yeah,
true.
That's what. Well, Scarecrow was there first, but that's what the second movie was about, though. Like, it's like all the mob bosses have to meet in kitchens in the daytime, and that's why someone like the Joker can thrive. Like, this is all in the text, you know. It's why I love it.
It's true. And look, and you know, there was a good video I watched saying that The Dark Knight Rises is the most Chris Nolan movie ever, and that's why it's so bad. And it's kind of true.
It's
just
terrible. It's
it's so
3
bad.
hours of nothing.
I went to go see that in Rome in 2012. In one of the
How many films did you see in Rome? I
Many.
feel like
All
every
of them.
time you go to
All
a
of them.
movie.
I lived above a video store.
yeah. It's
That
it's
is not a
literally
lie.
In the same
It
weekend,
became-
you saw all the Spider-Man movies
Yeah.
from the 2010s. You also saw The
Yeah.
Dark Knight in Rome and went to a Burger
Cian,
King
it's the only time he
beforehand.
watched films. He did watch films after that year.
Never again.
But anyway,
Were you in that cafe in Venice with Batman? Will we find you there?
also here's actually my first weekend there. It was the European premiere of the Avengers, so that was pretty cool. But anyway,
Also in Rome. Okay.
it was. Well, I was not that, and also I didn't.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, right. So the way it works.
Ah.
The way it works on the continent is so there's the actual dub, right, or the dub over, so they dub over with actors of the language, and then there's the original version, right? So pro tip: if you're ever in a foreign country and want to see a Western movie, look for VO, because otherwise you're going to be really confused because they're all going to speak in French or something
Unless you go to Amsterdam, because they do it in English there and have Dutch subtitles.
That's fair. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we had to find a version or originale, that's what they call it, movie, cinema, and there's a little small one built on the site of this old Roman temple, right? And they moved the Roman temple. Well, Mussolini moved the temple, and now it's in a museum. But
With his bare hands.
well, he would like you to believe that. And then, so yeah, you go to it, and it's like this small little cinema, but it has 3 screens, and that's where I pretty much saw all the movies. So yeah, The Dark Knight was one of them. But I remember being so upset, I nearly went to bed early. That was nearly
You
the third
thought
time.
about it.
I thought
You
about it.
going.
But it already was kind of late, so it would have been cheating to.
How can you go to bed early when you're upset? When I get upset, I just like pace the room back and
That's the
forth.
problem,
I
you just-
pace like this.
I think it comes from playing the games where you sleep to save and then you move forward a day.
Yeah, you're just
That's-
like, I'm done with today.
I'm done with today.
Uh.
Today's a write off. That's where it comes from. But yeah. So there we go.
Kev, I can see a thought hovering over your head.
On me?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's going on?
What, me, Kev?
Yeah.
Me?
He has an Eevee over his head. Is that a Christmas Eevee, Kev?
Oh, is that what that is?
No, head empty.
Ah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, fair enough, fair
You know,
enough,
I like
fair
the
enough.
Nolan films. That's kind of my opinion.
Yeah, fair.
That's where I'm at. Also, just funny, just while you mentioned it, I also saw the Dark Knight Rises in a European city. I saw it in Paris.
Oh, there you go.
Were all of you guys invited to the screening that I missed like 10 years ago?
I wasn't.
No,
Was it the same story, Kev? Did you have to go to a original version showing, or did they dub or sub it?
I have no. I don't think we actually looked. I think we just looked out, and it was just it's English. I do remember actually. I was on a scout camp trip in Belgium one year where we had to find an English movie because they needed just something to do with these fucking 16-year-olds on a day, and we found an English voiceover version of Hancock that had both French and German subtitles. But the weirdest part was this cinema just plugged intermission into Hancock. So just
Well, now there is an
Hancock,
underrated superhero movie.
It's a very
Hancock?
good
Yeah.
first half hour of a superhero movie. But halfway through Hancock, there is just a stop, and you got 20 minutes to go take a piss. And then back in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they put the Dark Knight Rises on in the interval.
Speaking of which, I'll be back in a minute.
Fair.
To just tie this back to the present, haven't they announced that Christian Bale is going to be the villain in the new Thor movie or something like that?
They
Kev,
have,
you
yeah,
gave me
yeah.
the kind of scoop on that.
They
They
have,
have,
yeah.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, in one way, it's kind of like about time that Bale did something in the MCU. In another way, it's like it's a bit.
They'll all
Weird.
get theirs eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's a bit weird. I don't know. I'm just, I think they should just, bring back who Kenneth Branagh to direct Thor movies.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, I was wondering when we get to Taika Waititi getting the next Star Wars
Don't
movie.
mention his name
We
on the
don't-
show.
we
when
don't
I'm-
mention-
No. You don't mention his name. I like him.
I don't know.
I like Taika. I don't really see why he should do anything mainline in Star Wars.
Because
He should
do
Thor
it.
Ragnarok did very well.
What he should do is he
That's
should
why.
But,
He
He
should
should do
the-
episodes of The Mandalorian.
yeah,
he should go away, and he should never direct again. Because it's terrible.
Mm.
No, nah.
No.
Look, I liked the stuff in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I did like parts of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
The World War Hulk stuff.
Yeah.
Jojo
I
Rabbit,
appreciate that as a huge concession for you.
it is.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if it had just been a Hulk movie, it would have been great.
Yeah.
It was the fact that it was a Thor movie that really just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Particularly after his comments about Moana, because he bitched about Moana for ages, and this is like, okay, you've done the exact same
But
thing.
it's not like he actually did an actual Thor film though.
He
Do you know
destroyed
what I mean?
Asgard.
No, but
He
as
destroyed
in,
Asgard, and he destroyed Mjolnir.
It was
I
a
think-
Ragnarok film. You gotta
But it
destroy
was-
Asgard.
but it's not like he
Hold
actually,
on.
no. But what I'm saying is, it's not like he actually did.
What?
It's not like he did like this is the official lore version of Thor, and now I'm destroying Asgard.
No, but I'm saying
you
what
know?
I'm saying is he bitched about that he was afraid that someone who wasn't of the society that Moana's based from
Yeah.
would have disrespected it, and he went to do the exact same thing and then bragged about it on the internet. It's like, right, you're a hypocrite, but I do appreciate your sense of humor in certain things. But I'm like, man, no, just stop.
Yeah, but like Moana comes from like that was a project he worked on that was about like kind of people from that culture.
Absolutely.
Like I mean, like
Absolutely,
are there like Norse gods who are
I-
like in the cinema frustrated? Like
I would also argue that like Thor, like that, like the Marvel's Thor was written by Americans and is more influenced by American culture than it is by Norse culture.
Yeah,
But
surely putting
that's
Thor
why I like.
on the Avengers in the first place already crosses the line.
No, well, see,
Yeah.
here's the thing. That's why I like Kenneth Branagh's approach to it, because he still handed it. It was like Shakespeare in space,
Yeah,
and it was a really
absolutely.
cool kind
Yeah,
of way.
that's fair.
It was the right way to do
I would
a Jack
argue,
Kirby-esque.
yeah, I would
Well, it was Jack Kirby.
I would argue that the first two films didn't have enough Shakespeare in space.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Shakespeare in space was the way to go. But look, it was what it was.
Really, there was a lot of it in Dark World. Possibly too much.
I like Dark World, and
Yeah,
I'm surprised you don't, because Keen.
I like
Dark
it
World
too.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
knew you
just
would,
saying.
because it's your movie. It's like it's the most Keen movie ever. Has a doctor and everything in it. Has a doctor and everything in it.
Yeah, I know, but he also said that after filming it, he wanted to put a gun in his mouth. So, like, you know.
Yeah, but he said that with Doctor Who
mixed
too.
vibes.
He said that with Doctor Who as well. Come on, he's just a very bitter little man until he needs money.
Are we getting on Eccleston
He has
again?
come back to
Yeah.
Doctor Who, though.
There you
He
go.
has come back to
and he'll
Doctor
come
Who.
back. He'll come back
This
to the
week-
MCU as well. He will. What?
This
Well,
week,
no,
he posted a
probably-
photo of him holding a Doctor Who script looking sad. It counts.
I didn't think it
I
counted.
will show you this photo in the chat.
I mean, I love me some Eccleston, but I don't think it counts if he looks sad.
He's like, oh my god, they're going to pay
He
me.
always looks sad.
That's just his face now. He's just sad in general.
He's just sad in general. Oh man.
Okay, so look, on that note, I'm pretty sure we're insanely over time.
We are.
Yeah, so guys, does anyone have anything they want to plug before we finish up?
Do I?
Yeah. Anything to expose?
I'm not sure if there's a pause or my internet's just stuttering, but hey, listen to my anime podcast. It's here. It's on the network. It's Anime Crash Course.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called. We did a Christmas episode.
Excellent.
Me and Keith really like Tokyo Godfathers. I'm sure I said some great things on it.
Oh.
Does anyone else have news before I let loose?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm still reviewing The Mandalorian and Star Trek Discovery for Geek Ireland. Go give them some clicks and love, because I think by the time this airs, The Mandalorian will be over. So that's a shame, but also I'm looking forward to having free time again. So give him a read.
Anyone
Good
else?
stuff. Nope, go for it, Katie.
Okay.
I've sent the sad Eccleston to all of you.
Sad Eccleston.
He doesn't even look sad. He
You'll
just looks
see.
tired.
Oh
And
my
then
god, he looks so sad.
He looks very tired.
Yeah.
He looks very tired. But oh boy,
I'm excited.
Do I have news for you? Sorry, I've been drinking.
Never apologize for just drinking.
But I do have news. Today was a very good week for news for news for me. This week was a very good week for news for me. So doing it for the exposure is finished for the year. We are not doing any more episodes until next year. But I will be putting up kind of details about what form the show is going to take next year, because I'm changing it to coincide with I am starting a new business. And it's called Acutely Morbid. I'm going to be crafting and all sorts of stuff. And also I have merch, shameless plug.
Ooh, awesome.
So
Yes,
you
sell
can-
dice, get money.
You can find that on the dice are coming. They're not, I haven't perfected them yet,
Give
but
me
they are
dice.
coming.
Is that what's going to be written on the merch?
Need my beads.
The dice are coming.
I don't know.
So it's going to be a collection of like jewelry, game pieces, which will be like dice, dominoes, chess pieces.
I think it's fair to say I need more dice.
Yeah, the dice are coming, I promise. So there's that. You can find that on the Instagrams at Acutely Morbid. The website is coming in January, where you can buy stuff. Please buy stuff. And also this week, it's been announced that one of my digital artworks is being featured in a charity calendar for next year with Women in Horror Month Dublin. You can find all the details of that on my Instagram at mannequin_blue. And if you want a copy of the calendar, you can message Oh Golly Miss Dolly and she will handle that. And the calendar is full of amazing artworks from lots of really cool people. So just do it because it's for charity and it's great.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, before I know I've already done my shout out, but can we give a shout out to Lisa, who sadly couldn't be here today? She is away fighting the good fight for retail and doing Christmas FM stuff. And go check out her stuff too if you haven't already.
Straight out of Canto.
But it ties
That's
into
it.
Well, it does tie into it. So this is our Christmas special, right? So the listeners are going to obviously get a Christmas cracker of content on this. So it's our show, the extended. So if you're listening to this on Phoenix, what are you doing? Nerd to Know Media.
Well, if they're listening on Phoenix, there probably aren't anymore. We're so over time that
well, I have to cut this. I have to cut it, so it's gonna make sense.
This is almost.
He's gonna cut all the Taika Waititi stuff. It's fine.
Oh gosh.
Almost certainly the extended cut at this point.
Why do you wound me so? Seriously, just no.
At least you're not dramatic about it, Darragh.
Exactly. Just
no. Why do you wound me so? That sounds Shakespearean.
Well, there you go. See how cool that sounds instead of just making stupid jokes. Anyway, okay, so
4 if you need a writer.
Yeah, I'd write the best script ever. Anyway, okay, so this is a Christmas cracker special where we're going to have obviously this extended show. If you listen to Phoenix FM, cool, great. Go over and check out Nerd to Know Media. But we're going to have a Christmas special show with different segments put in through it. And Lisa, myself, and whoever else wants to pop on, we're going to do a watch along next week, like we did for Halloween, of some Simpsons Christmas shows live on stream.
Ooh, this is news to me.
Yeah, well, that's what we haven't picked a date yet, but we will.
Because you don't read the chat, kid.
Don't read the chat. This
he hasn't learned to read.
Every time I open my phone, it gets stolen by a 17-month-old version of me.
To be fair, he has a reason. that's a fair reason. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We haven't decided what we're doing yet, and we're going to give away some games. It's going to be fun. So do check that out. Details will be on the social media and also on YouTube as well. So that's what we have coming up. But yeah, so if you're only catching this on Phoenix FM, go over and check out the Christmas cracker on Nerd to Know Media. So.
Awesome. Well,
can we get a woo from everyone? Woo! Thank you. That was a good harmony.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you for everyone listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.